Hey guys, it's Saru, and so much has happened in the last few days that it's just, well, insane. Walmart's website basically doesn't exist anymore. Target is a garbage fire, and if you've ever played Blade and Soul when it first came out, then imagine those bots times a million stealing PS5s and Xbox Series X to resell. Garbage people. But before I begin, I want to say one thing. This video is actually sponsored by Bluehole Studio, in the sense that they gave me a couple of items that you'll see throughout the game that doesn't give me anything really, just cosmetic effect. You'll see where my eyes turn purple and I turn like kind of evil, and you'll also see me turn really huge. In addition to that, you might see me turn orange. So it's just those items, and they've given it to me just to kind of show off and kind of promote the game and this video. So thank you to Bluehole Studio. But anyways, that's okay because I ordered my PlayStation 5 on September 16th and I got it pretty quickly. In fact, look at this.
PS5. Now available at the Sarumonin house.
So naturally, as I got my PS5, I decided I'm going to do a TERA comparison video. So let's get right into it.
Well, that was an out-of-body experience. Don't think I've ever introduced myself with a real life video before. But anyways, we're going to compare TERA on a PS4 Pro and a PS5, and how the performance works just running around and playing. Now before I begin, I will say three things. 1. I've only recorded the PS4 footage where it's specifically about certain location and how laggy it is, as well as start times from start to finish to the moment that you log in, inventory loading lag, where on the PS4 it actually takes you like 3 to 5 seconds to actually get your inventory sorted out so you can actually see it, and a couple other things. On the PS4 Pro, I have not recorded dungeons, Fraywind Canyon, or rally experiences because I've already done this on this channel, and anyone that's played the game will know that these experiences are not very optimal. And if you want, you can actually see these videos for yourself. I'll put them in the description below. They're all individual and they're on there. You can see how the performance is. So on the PS5, I recorded Fraywind Canyon. I recorded Ruinous Manor hard mode, which is one of the more laggy dungeons. It was either between that or Antrat's Abyss, but I think Ruinous Manor is probably way more up there. And as well as a couple other things. So starting out, you'll see that I started the game and started the stopwatch. So I'm not going to skip any screens because when you start at the game, you can actually just hold options or start, whatever you want to call it, and you'll be able to skip the banners and you can just spam X and then go into the game automatically. But I'm not going to do that. This is just starting the game from the moment you press X on the banner on the PlayStation, or A for you Xbox fellas, to the moment that you log in. So let's see. And voila, so you can see that the PS5 has actually cut it by well over half, where it takes the PS4 Pro 4 minutes and 26 seconds from starting, without skipping anything. It takes the PS5 2 minutes and 27 seconds, without skipping anything, and that's without any PS5 optimizations. In reality, I actually timed this on myself earlier today. From the moment you press X to the moment you get to the login, if you're just skipping everything and pressing X, it takes about 1 minute and 1 second if you just skip everything and press X. Now this is the one that's interesting to note. We're gonna check out Velika because it's actually the laggiest location in all of TERA. So I'm not going to do side by side because you can't really tell and you can't really see the frames. I'm going to do one and I'm going to show you the other. So here's Velika on the PS4 Pro. And now here's Velika on the PS5. So the moment that I actually entered Highwatch, I actually started a timer from the moment you load in to you'll see gray blobs everywhere in Highwatch because it's honestly one of the most busiest locations. You'll see names that aren't there, you'll see players that really aren't there, they're all gray blobs. And I timed how long it would take for everything to just finally pop in. You'll notice that on the PS5 it takes about 12 seconds, and that's just if it's moderately heavy. It's not necessarily a huge amount of stuff going on, but it's about the same on the PS4. But on the PS4 Pro, it takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds. It does take a long time. Again, this is without any optimization on the PS5 whatsoever. This is just straight backwards compatibility. So that should give you some kind of indication of what we're going to see going forward, because it is quite a bit of stuff going on here with the game, and honestly, I felt like the game was so much more smoother that I was actually enjoying playing again. So the biggest thing that this game has ever been laggy in is PvP. In fact, that's one of the reasons that players don't play. It's because they go into the battlegrounds, there's like dropping frames to like 1 frame, freezing. I'm not going to show you the whole match because although it's pretty awesome, I can actually show you if you want on a separate video. Let me know in the comments below and I will. I'll actually just upload the whole thing on its own. But there's a key moment to know when Fraywind Canyon is going to be super laggy. You're going to see right here, I'm just talking over it. So you get out of the gate, you jump off. The moment you jump off, it freezes for a second on the PS4 Pro. It's always happened. It's always happened. I don't have any footage because it's horrible and you don't want to see that. And the moment you go into mid, this is the location where everyone's going to start fighting. Usually a lot of frames drop. Did not experience that whatsoever. Now this was dropping around to 30, between 30 and 60 FPS, sometimes balancing over to 70, but it never dropped below 30 really, where honestly, it didn't even feel like anything was going on really that bad. And you can see right here. This is actually an extreme advantage because when you're playing against players that are freezing and you're just beating them up, which I did, you can win. Which I did. I was basically solo healing my entire team and I had fun. I mean, you could just see from the frames, it actually plays like a game. I'm shocked. I'm actually surprised. Now this is actually with full effects, full lurid, everything that the game has to offer. In fact, I went later to Rally last night, which is why this video actually didn't come out yesterday, because I wanted to make sure that it came out with this. Now Anansha is actually the most laggy rally boss in the entire game. There's actually various rally locations every day except Saturday. You, basically anyone honestly, can just go at specific hours to fight a specific boss in a specific location, and you get lots of gold and whatever if you place in the top 5 groups. Now this boss specifically is the laggiest boss in the entire game. There were some frame drops. Now I wanted to test this out to the ultimate. So I put on the potions that Bluehole gave me, which you'll see that I'm actually looking pretty fancy. I'm huge, and it's meant to actually push the PS5 on purpose. Normal players won't actually do this. It's actually to put so much more things going around in the game in effects, just to see what it would do. There was a slight millisecond where it dropped to 0 FPS when Anansha actually jumped, went down to the ground, but it was barely noticeable. Basically like a blink. That's how I noticed it, is in out. That's it. But the rest was actually not that bad. It was actually a smooth experience. And anybody that's done Rally on TERA knows that once you go in there, you basically crash. It is notorious for crashing. What does that mean? That means that you get a blue screen, you have to wait, go back in the game. It takes about 5 minutes to go from pressing X on the banner all the way to loading back in, and hopefully that you're not lagging bad enough. By that time it's around 6 minutes, and that's how much time has passed, and you probably lose out on loot. I didn't have that problem whatsoever. I didn't blue screen. Frames were pretty stable. They were above 30, and there were a lot of players. I made it a point to actually tell all of Global. Now if you don't play TERA, Global is a chat where you can talk to the entire server at that point. I told everybody, Anansha's here, Rally's here, let's go guys. Usually this information is kept between guilds. They just come and steal the loot, but I wanted to tell everybody, and there were a lot of players. Not like a lot, but there were a lot of players, as you can see here, obviously. So that's 2 points for the PS5, because these two things, Rally and Fraywind Canyon, are one of the laggiest things in the entire game. I actually wanted to try Corsair Stronghold, but unfortunately I didn't have the ability to because it's a 20v20, and unfortunately there's not enough time, so it's whatever. I did one more test on the PS5, playing Ruinous Manor hard mode. I can show you the entire dungeon run here, but I'm not going to actually waste your time, just so you can see how smooth it runs. I'm going to actually upload that on a separate video if you want. Let me know in the comments below and I will do that. Starting from the boss, honestly, the first 2 bosses have never been an issue, but the frames were absolutely stable. The game was actually smooth. I was having fun. Everything felt okay. Nothing really to compare there. It's honestly the last boss where the issue is. When you start the boss on Lakalith, which is the last boss of Ruinous Manor hard mode or normal mode. This mostly happens in hard mode. The moment you start it, the gate will go up. Once that gate goes up, everything lags for a second, 2-3 seconds, and it's just terrible experience. I don't have this on the PS4 Pro, but here is how it looks like on the PS5. You can tell there's a slight drop in frames, but barely noticeable. I played the entire run basically like this, just smooth. Now there are two other instances where the game either freezes or the frames drop, and that's two things. When she goes into helicopter mode at 50% and when she does pushback. So let's see how it looks like at 50%. And now let's look at pushback and just general gameplay here. Honestly, it was super smooth. Now, when you deal with dungeons like Arcane 9, Antaros Abyss, and Ruinous Manor, you know that it's kind of laggy. Ruinous Manor being pretty much the laggiest of all of them, and I had a really smooth time. In fact, it was so smooth, it felt like I was faster. And by being faster, I was actually confused and couldn't really press the buttons in time and stuff. So that's something to tell you guys. Now, in the beginning of the video, I showed you from going to Velika to Highwatch between the PS4 Pro and the PS5. In those videos as well, I showed you the inventory. You can see it takes a little longer to actually load things on the PS4 Pro. It also takes longer to load your map on the PS4 Pro. I showed you on the PS5, it does not do that. I didn't really talk about it, but you could see it on the video. All in all, if you have a PS5, TERA is a brand new experience, honestly. I can't wait for the PS5 optimizations and the graphics update, which I'll do a video at later on when those come out, so you'll be able to tell what looks like what, the models look like what, and I'm excited about that. I don't know, what do you guys think? I had a fun time playing TERA. Frames were stable, they were high. I don't know, it was smooth. It didn't feel like TERA. It was definitely a good time. The development team told me basically this is how they want TERA to run. They want to aim for higher frames, but that basically this is the true TERA, and they wish that they could have done this on the PS4 Pro or the PS4. But unfortunately, because the game actually requires 4 GB of RAM to actually run at least decent, they can't do that on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro because they're limited. So on the PS5, you can kind of take advantage of that. I don't know. I'm excited, and we'll see what we can do. Alright guys, thanks for watching, guys.
Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable f***ing bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.